This is for the woman who reached the goal and still thought, why doesn't this feel better? You did the thing, you got there, you work hard. People may even call it success. But inside, there's no real celebration. Just the next thing, the next pressure, the next mountain, the next reason to feel behind. If you're the woman who reached the goal and still thought, why doesn't this feel better? Stay tuned. You worked for it, you gave your time, your energy, your attention. You pushed through the tired days. You did what you said you would do. And then you got there. Maybe you got the title, the diploma, the home, the relationship, the business milestone, the external proof that says you should feel proud now. But instead of being proud, instead of peace, instead of joy, happiness, there is this strange emptiness. Not because you are ungrateful, not because your life is bad, not because you failed, but because achievement can give you a moment of satisfaction while still living your deeper self unseen. And if you know that feeling, put yes in the comment. Also, if you're watching this live, write hashtag live in the comments, or if you're watching the replay, write hashtag replay in the comments. So let's get to the first point of today's video. And the first point is that the goal can be real, but still not feed the part of you that needs meaning. And what I mean by that is that not every achievement nourishes you. Some achievements only prove that you can perform. There are achievements that look good from the outside, but do not actually touch the part of you that wants to feel alive. They prove you can work. They prove you can be disciplined. They prove you can keep going. They prove you can meet expectations. But they do not always prove that you are connected to yourself. And that is where the emptiness begins. Because people can clap for something that your soul never chose. People can admire life that does not feel fully like yours. People can say, you are doing so well, while inside you are wondering, why can't I feel like that? Why I can't feel great about it? I've been there. I had a job, the home, the family, the title. And still there were moments where I would lie awake and that was like in the middle of the night and think, is this it? Is this real? Why does the life that looks so good not feel the way I thought it would feel? And it's not about rejecting achievement or not approving them. I love growth. I love learning. I love building. I love meaningful work. But achievement becomes empty when becomes the place where we try to get our worth. The problem is not achievement. The problem is asking achievement to give you identity, to give you worth. So please write empty in the comments if you ever achieved something and still felt like something was missing. The high from achievement fades when it is not connected to your values. And that's my second point I want to point out. External success fades quickly when it's not rooted in internal alignment. And there is this idea called the arrival fallacy. And it's the belief that once I get there, then I will finally feel okay. When I reach the final destination or reach the goal, or make money or get the title or get the degree, or when the house is done, or once the business works, once people finally see me, then and only then I will relax. Then and only then I will feel proud. Then and only then I will feel safe. Then and only then I will feel enough. But so often we arrive and the feeling only lasts for a moment. And then the mind moves the finish line. And now it says, yes, but what about the next thing? And this is how achievement becomes a treadmill. And I remember, going through the study, working hard for my diploma or master's degree. And yes, there was excitement when I reached that milestone. But what stayed with me was not the paper. What stayed with me was who I became through the process. And if the goal only gives you external proof, the feeling fades. But if the path grows you, deepens you, strengthens your integrity, teaches you something meaningful, then the achievement becomes part of who you are becoming. And so a goal can impress people and still not be aligned with you. But real success is not the scoreboard, it is alignment with your values. And that's my third point for today. Success that costs you integrity, peace, or aliveness is not success in the way your deeper self understands it. A few years ago, I was offered a job that looked very good from the outside, or very good on the paper. And it made sense. It looked like a good opportunity. It was kind of the thing people could easily say, why wouldn't you take it? But more I learned about the role and the environment, the more something in me said no. It just didn't feel right. And not because I was afraid, not because I was incapable, not because I didn't want to grow, you know? But because the way to get there did not feel aligned with my values. There was a disconnect with the kind of leadership I believe in, a disconnect with collaboration, transparency, integrity. And I realized something important in that moment. Sometimes the most successful decision is the one that does not look impressive from the outside, but lets you stay at peace with yourself. And that was the most important thing to me. That is where success changed for me. It stopped being only about title, income, recognition, or what our other people would understand. It became about whether I could respect myself in the process. The path matters as much as the destination, because you have to live with you because or while walking it, while getting to the goal. And just comment aligned if you're ready to define success by what feels true, not just what looks impressive. And I have a tiny exercise today for you, and it's actually a small question, and you can take that you can take today with you. So take a 10 minutes and write down what actually matters to me beyond what looks impressive. Not what should matter, not what would make other people proud, not what sounds successful or powerful, but what actually matters to me. And then ask, does the way I spend my time reflect that? You know, just be honest when you're answering those two questions. And so before we close for today, I want to leave you with this. You're not failing because success did not feel the way you thought it would. You may just be realizing that the old definition of success is too small for you, too small for who you are becoming. And if you are tired of proving, achieving, caring, and still feeling like it's never enough, I have a free resource that can help you look at what may really be underneath that feeling. And if part of the reason you keep chasing is because you're afraid of being judged, afraid of disappointing people, afraid of being seen as not enough, afraid of choosing a path others may not understand, I also have a gentle $7 course that helps you begin releasing fear of judgment and shame. I'll put both links in the comments below. And if this kind of conversation helps you feel less alone, subscribe. I'm going live for 30 days. This is the sixth day. And we are talking about confidence, self trust, emotional safety, overachieving, guilt, perfectionism, clarity, and how to come home to yourself. But for today, I want you to remember this: success is not just what you reach, it is whether you can still feel yourself when you get there. Thank you for being here and welcome home to yourself.